The second question, I'm frustrated. You say, be here now. Drop the mind. Be spontaneous. To me, this would be an enlightened state. I don't experience being enlightened. So what does this asshole do in the meantime? Meantime, enjoy being unenlightened. Because who knows? Tomorrow, you may become enlightened. I make you beware. Meanwhile, enjoy being unenlightened. Because once enlightened, you are enlightened forever. Watch out. Then don't come to me and say that now I have become enlightened and I want to enjoy things which only can be enjoyed in a state of unenlightenment. Then I will not be of much help. I can help you from unenlightenment towards enlightenment. I cannot help you from enlightenment towards unenlightenment. That is not possible. That has never happened. That is not possible. Once you know, you know. Then 1,001 things will become immediately impossible. So don't waste time. Enjoy. You ask me, I'm frustrated because you are carrying an idea of becoming enlightened and you are unenlightened, and the idea of becoming enlightened continuously hammering, and continuously you know you are unenlightened. So frustration. You misunderstand me. You continuously misunderstand me. I am not giving you a goal. Enlightenment is not a goal. Naturally, you would ask then how it comes. If you can start enjoying your unenlightened state, it will come on its own. Enjoyment bridges both. That's why my emphasis on joy, celebration, happiness. Because happiness bridges both. The unenlightened person can also be happy. And the enlightened person is necessarily happy. That is the only quality that they share. That is the only quality that overlaps. I have not come across any other quality that overlaps. Hence I say the quality that overlaps can be used as a bridge. The unenlightened person can be joyous only momentarily. Obviously. Because his mind is wavering. He is continuously dragged to the past, to the future, here and there, and he cannot remain here. But for moments he can. Just coming from the past and going to the future, he can be for a moment in the present. Coming from the future, going to the past, he can have a halt. And just a little holiday for the present. He passes many times in the day. Again and again. He settles back and forth. Settling back and forth, he crosses the present many times. In those fragmentary spaces, he can be happy. His happiness cannot be eternal. But happiness is happiness, eternal or momentary. When you are dancing and celebrating, your dance and celebration has the same quality as when Kabir is dancing or Meera is dancing. The same quality. The difference is of quantity, not of quality. It is only momentary. It comes and it goes. It does not stay. It is like a flash. By the time you become aware of it, it is gone. But it is the same thing. It becomes a sun to a Kabir, to a Mira. It becomes a constant source of light. But lightning in the clouds has the same quality. It is not different. It is the same light. Although you cannot read a book and you cannot write a letter. By the time you will take the pen in the hand, the lightning is gone and it is deep darkness. But still remember, the quality of fire, the quality of electricity is the same. Whether it is a constant source like sun or a very momentary flash of a lightning, the difference is only of time. Happiness overlaps. When Buddha is, he is happy. He is simply happy. It remains. It is like breathing. It is a climate around him. It never leaves him. To you, it comes like a fragrance. For a moment, your nostrils are full of it, and the next moment it is gone, and you are full of the stink of the world. But it is the same fragrance. In Buddha's life, the flower has bloomed. In your life, the flower has not bloomed. It comes and goes. You are feeling frustrated because of this idea of enlightenment is becoming a heavy phenomenon for you. You are making a goal out of it. And you will create misery. And a miserable person can never become enlightened. Drop misery. And you will ask how to drop misery. Drop goals. Goals create misery. When you are hankering for something and you cannot get, you become miserable. When you don't hanker for anything, but start moving in a new dimension, whatsoever you have, you start enjoying it. You may be sitting in the small garden of your cottage and thinking of the great palace, how to get it. In that very idea of the great palace, which you can see far away in the sunlight, the marble palace, you are becoming miserable. The more you become focused on that palace, you forget the beauties of this small cottage. The flowers are there, the lawn is green, and the trees are happy, the wind is blowing, the sun is sovereign, the birds are singing. The birds don't make much difference between a palace and a hut. And the flowers bloom the same. And the sun showers the same. On the just, on the unjust, on the poor, on the rich. On the beautiful, on the ugly. On the successful, on the failures. You are missing. Forget the palace. In forgetting the palace, you will not be miserable. Start moving with this bird that is blessing you, sitting on your small tree, singing a song. Listen to it. And these rays of the sun that are falling on you. Rejoice. Sing a song. Dance with the trees. Lie down on the grass. Feel the wetness of it and the aliveness of it. That's what I mean. Meanwhile, enjoy your unenlightenment. And if you can enjoy your enlightenment, you will be surprised that the hut has become a palace. You will be surprised by the transformation that happens around you. because it has happened inside you. When you change, the whole world changes. If you can enjoy your unenlightened state, enlightenment is going to happen to you. It cannot happen by desiring, it happens only by rejoicing. Jesus says again and again, rejoice, rejoice. Why? There is a key, a golden key. If you can rejoice, you will become capable of more rejoicings. If you can rejoice, your heart will dance, throb, will be able to open more. And more will be coming. You always get that for which you are ready. More you cannot get. You say, I am frustrated. You say, be here now. Drop the mind. Be spontaneous. You go on misunderstanding me. When I say to you, be spontaneous, you make a goal out of it. And that's what I am saying, don't do, please. Be spontaneous means don't have any goals. You make a goal out of being spontaneous. You start trying how to be spontaneous. The moment you bring how, you can never be spontaneous because there is no how to it. How always leads into the future. How always prepares plans. How can you plan to be spontaneous? Spontaneity is an understanding that I have not to run after the desires. Seeing the futility of desires, one no more runs after them, and there is spontaneity. When I say drop the mind, you start trying to drop the mind. Who is trying? The mind starts trying to drop the mind itself. Now this is impossible. The mind cannot drop the mind. You have to understand these things. What I am teaching you here is not something that has to be done. It is something that has to be understood. And you are too much interested in doing. You are in such a hurry to do something that you don't listen what I am saying. You don't get the point. And immediately you start planning how to drop the mind. Now who is this planning? Who is this thinking how to drop the mind? It is the mind itself. Now a new desire has arisen in you of dropping the mind. Now a new marble palace. Now a new goal. Mind is desiring. Mind is goal orientation. To drop the mind means see the point that mind leads you astray. It never allows you to be here now. Seeing that, be finished with goals. Seeing that, don't create new goals of dropping the mind and being spontaneous and being here now. Seeing the point, have a good laughter, relax, rejoice. And you are here now. And in the here now there is no mind. And when there is no mind, there is spontaneity. Meanwhile, enjoy. I don't experience being enlightened. You will never experience being enlightened. How can you experience being enlightened? You are the barrier. And enlightenment is not an experience because there is no experiencer in it. Enlightenment is experiencing, not experience. In experience, there is division. The experiencer, the experienced. Between the two exists experience. When the experiencer and the experienced are no more separate, they have melted into each other. When the observer has become the observed, when the knower and the known are no more separate, then there is a totally new phenomenon for which I would like to use the word experiencing. I would like to use a verb, experiencing. Experience is a noun, closed, finished. Experiencing is ongoing. It is river-like. Those two, the duality of the knower and the known, has dissolved into the river. There is nobody who knows enlightenment. And there is not anything like enlightenment which can be known like an object. You forget about these complex things. You simply start enjoying. That simple thing can be done easily. You can dance, you can sing, you can love, you can eat, you can go for a walk, you can have a good sleep. All these activities are beautiful if you can be totally in them, dissolved. Mind will go on trying its ways on you, its tricks on you. And you will be led astray by the mind many times. Whenever you remember, again have a good laugh. Rejoice. Don't start fighting with the mind. Neglect, ignore. This is just an old habit. Watch. Don't pay much attention. By not giving attention, slowly you will starve the mind. It will start shrinking. One day it will not be there. When the mind is gone, you are gone. When you are gone, there is enlightenment. You say, I don't experience being enlightened, so what does this asshole do in the meantime? You are enlightenment. Simply you have forgotten it. A remembrance will come to you, not by your efforts, but by being in tune with existence. An old boxer phoned his manager. Harry, he said, you gotta get me another fight. I wanna fight Slesser Delaney. No, boy, replied Harry. You are over the hill. No more fights. How many times do I have to tell you? But please, Harry, just this one. I know I can beat him. Please, Harry, one more fight. No, you are past it. Quit while you are still on your feet. You can't fight again. But Harry, pleaded the old fighter, why can't I fight Slesser Delaney? Why can't you fight Slesser Delaney? Yelled the manager. Because you stupid shit, you are Slesser Delaney.